all the trenching filled back in down the side of the house, and pretty much up and around the corner. Well, I buried it and I can't get it out. The ground is just too soft to even try to use the bucket. So after trying to figure out every viable option to get it out, I ended up having to decide we have to take down some of the pickets on the fence here so I can get a chain through the property line to the neighbor's yard. Tie it up to my truck, but this whole fence got to come down to get my truck in their yard to do this. You may be wondering why I decided to cut it the way I did. It's because I got a deal worked out with the neighbors. I'm going to actually rebuild this part of fence for them some point down the road, not too far hopefully. But figured it'd be a good trade-off for them. They get some free labor out of me, and they gave me permission to kind of tear up their yard a little bit with my truck. So I'm going to get these posts out of here. That one will stay. That'll be the new lineup for the new gate if they decide to put it back in the same position, or whether they decide to go all the way to the edge. But I'm going to finish ripping all this out and then get the truck hooked up to that skid steer and hopefully get it out of the mud today. Alright, so we got the whole section of fence down for the most part. Any residual concrete from the post being in the ground, stuff like that. Yeah. Clear shot to pull in forward, turn left, and then just back it up to that fence over there. And then once I get the truck in position, I'll be able to tell which pickets need to come off to access through that property line for that chain. But I don't have any chain. Alright, so got it out of the first hole with the truck in the neighbor's yard. Everything is successful. Problem is that that trench I dug came all the way to the corner of the shed, and it's just in the trench in a different spot now, so I'm gonna have to keep working it so we get it freed up. But it seems like it worked pretty good. Oh, I went ahead and dropped the bucket off here too, so I wouldn't keep damaging the side of the shed. The hole over here ended up pretty bad. Got a nice little patch job I'm gonna have to do, but that's okay. Oh, I'm gonna try to get this thing lined up and start yanking on it again. See what happens. All right, so got it out of the second hole. It was a really big pain in the ass. I was trying to baby it so I didn't damage anything. I eventually got to the point where I said, screw it. If I mess something up, so be it. I ended up putting the truck on it with a shortened distance on the chain. We got a running start and yanked it about 6 times and got it all the way to the fence. And I went ahead and parked it over here by the gate so I could put the bucket back on. And I'm about to go get some fill dirt now. And I'm just going to start bringing in a massive amount of dirt and put on top of that, try to compact it down and get rid of all that mushiness so I can get it to the other side of the shed over there. hopefully I get all this groundwork stuff finished today. But got a lot of dirt and fixing to have to move and then figure something out to suspend my internet cable up so it doesn't get snagged. But that's where I'm at now. unstuck from that second hole about 11 o'clock this morning, and ended up going to get 1 truckload of filled dirt, which kind of already been starting to spread out and begin the grading process. Using the plate compactor, starting to compact it down. Just a slow process because of the space I have. Try not to run into everything and all that, but I got about 1/3 of that dirt left in here to unload still. But I'm actually made pretty short work of doing that other section over there. Had it all refilled and packed back down, and probably a little less than an hour. I'd say about 45 minutes. Yeah, I just got a lot of grading to do back here. There's a real bad drop right here. It's kind of hard to tell right about where that skid in the dirt starts. And the other problem is, for some reason over here, got a little pimple going on. So now I'm gonna have to come back over here, dig this whole corner back up, dump some more dirt in there and repack it, and hopefully that'll get rid of that little bubble. But we're gonna end up going into a 3rd day on the rental of the machines, which is can't complain too bad about, considering the fact that I did this in all, spread all the dirt over here even in about 2.5 hours. So I'm gonna get ready to come in here and start compacting this down the first round, and then start spreading some more of this dirt out, trying to get it flat and all the slopes and everything to where I need it. Yep, that's about where I'm at right now. And gotta be real careful with this gas line sticking under the ground here, even though it's off. This tail's gonna end up getting cut way up underneath this deck anyways. And shed's got some battle wounds now. Even over here where the thing first got stuck over here in front of this roll-up door. When it first sank down, the bucket hit this side a little bit too, but this can all be just scraped clean, puttied, and painted over pretty easily. And then also my AT&T panel here, I had to take the drop out because I kept running over it with the tracks. I didn't want to take a chance of cutting it. And what I ended up doing was just putting some eyelets up here, hanging it across. It's like a temporary aerial drop. Yeah, whatever works. But I'm gonna go ahead and get going back on some more of this stuff and try to get the compacting process and the rest of the fill dirt back in here, and try to get a gauge on how much more dirt I'm gonna have to bring in. I'll try to get as much done on this as I can before I start losing too much daylight over here. This side's all lit up with this floodlight, but down this side of the house is all pitch black during the nighttime. So I'm gonna pack it down, get the rest of the fill dirt out. Yeah, I was trying to pop the little pimple and I hit the fill line for the pool. Good thing is it was already cut and capped right here, so you just have a little cut off for it. I gotta go back and find the end of it now, put it, recap it, and it'll be good. But I had to shut the water off. They did that water line a long time ago and tied it in, but he didn't put a valve here. The only way to cut that water off to that line is just shutting off the main for the house right there, which is what I had to do. But I gotta get that fixed up before too long. But I gotta get some more dry dirt packed back down on top of this, and then I'm just gonna re-dig out the end of that line, which is right about here. So we'll get going on that here in a few after I get about 2 more buckets of dirt in here on top of this and start flattening it out. Alright, so got all the pretty much rest of the dirt in this low spot right here. Still gotta grade it and screed it and all that stuff, but the it's still soft. I haven't compacted it yet, but it feels like the bubble's gone. It's not springing back up. It's a little bit muddy right there because of the water. But what I ended up doing is, I'm not sure, hopefully that was the only part of the damage to that pipe, but the way I was rocking that bucket back and forth through here, there's a very good possibility that it broke even further back somewhere off in here. I didn't want to cap it because I'm kind of low on supplies for 1/2 inch PVC, but I don't want to cap it and have another leak and then not have another cap. So what I did is I went ahead and just plumbed a stop valve into the line here. Now, you might be asking, why is it so low? That's because if I don't end up using this T coming out of this union or this elbow here, I can end up cutting this off somewhere in here and then reusing a segment that the valve is already attached to. So just kind of planning for a worst case scenario in the future if something like that were to happen. But valve's on, water main for the house is back on, we're holding, so I think we're good to go. I'm going to work on this a little bit more, I think, through this area where I have light tonight. And I guess I'm going to have to come back in the morning and probably about another half day with the machine, because I think I'm going to have to get about another 1/2 truckload of dirt to fill in the low spot in the middle of this walkway where the trench was for the drain. But I still got a couple of dirt piles here and there. They were not easy to access. While I was waiting for the plumbing to dry, I knocked all this down over here. But I still got a couple of mounds scattered over there up against that fence line. It's still a pretty big pile right up against the fence that needs to move because there's a there's a sewer grate over there, and then I got a bunch of trash here, and another little mound that's got to be evened out. And I'm thinking another 1/2 truckload should do. But that leaves me having to go get the rest of the dirt tomorrow. Everybody's already closed. So we'll probably pick back up on this, hopefully get it knocked out. I think we can get this finished up no later than like 1 or 2 tomorrow. But we'll keep getting some updates coming for you guys so you can check it out, what's going on.